Hey you guys, what's up? It is time to do the fourth update of my 2025 Project Pan. I guess you could say this is a finale because it is the end of the year and yeah, so we're gonna call it a finale, but it's also like an update because I haven't talked about my products since September, I think. Anyway, we're gonna start off with all the things that I had in the project in September and what's going on with that, and then from there talk about how the whole year went in terms of like the whole project. Was it successful for me? And again, this was a very chill, low-key project, so it's not like, you know, I had these huge goals, but we'll talk about that later. We were working on the shade Party. This is the Tarte blush that was a free sample from Sephora years ago, and I finished it, woo, and it is done. I'm so glad to get a blush out of my collection. I used this 32 times since September, and I finally panned it in November. I didn't count up the total usage over the year. I just like didn't have the bandwidth for that, but yeah. And I actually rehomed it into like a different compact for the last couple of uses or last stretch there because this is broken clearly, and glad to get this out. This is definitely not a purchase at all, or I would say repurchase, but it was free. Not something I would buy again. It's just like a blush to finish. It was neutral, worked enough just fine, but it's not an exciting blush. It's a neutral all year long, like does the job, cool, but if I'm gonna repurchase a blush or buy a new one, it's definitely not gonna be that. It's gonna be like one of the, probably like some sort of cream blush, stick blush or something like that, because those are, you know, something that looks very like hydrating. This didn't dry me out or anything, and it lasted just fine on my face, and you just get over it. So not a repurchase, but super excited about it. Then we had the Marc Jacobs bronzer in Tantastic, which was a mini, again, another free sample from Sephora. And I think it came with like a mascara. This was from 2020. Like that Christmas. Yeah, my birthday's in December, so this is 5 years old, and I finally finished this as well. Woo, yay, we got through, yeah, a blush and a bronzer in 2025, and it was a lovely bronzer. I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of bummed out that Marc Jacobs doesn't still make makeup, because I think they were like a solid brand, and their products, I mean, not that I tried a lot of their makeup, but I had their mascara at one point and loved it, and this was really nice. So maybe they'll get back into making makeup again, or maybe they already do and I've just been that out of touch with makeup and I just have no concept. But yeah, loved both products. In the last update video, I was saying I wanted to hit pan on the shade Smarty Pants. Sorry, I'm like glitching out. Smarty Pants, which is in this palette, and I hit pan. Where is it at? Sorry, it's been so long. Right here. So see that little baby pan right there? Yep. I did not take any comparison pictures. It really wasn't that serious. Like, it's just a shadow, had dips in it, and now it has a pan in it. So there you go. I'm sorry. I'm getting lazier with these like comparison photos and stuff. But yeah, there you are. And it took me like 5 more times since that update to hit pan, apparently. And I hit it pretty quickly after the last update. And then once it was over, I put it away, and that was it. So that feels like a really long time ago. So, but yeah, I hit pan. So that one hit its goal. Yeah, that's a great eyeshadow. This whole palette in general, I mean, if you know, you know, like it's a good solid palette that I use for months and months, and it has like everything that you could ever want, for me at least, in a palette. You got your dark eyeshadows, you got your like, you know, neutral ones. Like it's a great palette, and some shimmers in there. So I really like this palette, and you know, just traded it out for a new one to use. I'm using the chocolate bar right now, so it's always nice to see pans in things you've had for a really long time, and that was all I was really trying to do there. I wasn't trying to finish anything. And the color itself, I keep pulling this back out, sorry. The color itself is just like a neutral, God, your girl can't even swatch anything anymore. It's like a brown color, yeah. A neutral crease shade, lid shade, whatever you want it to be. It is like easy enough to hit pan on, so I try to make my goals like realistic, so. Cool. I rolled in 2 blushes just to like try out and see if I would like them, because I'm in the process of like kind of, you know, trying to get rid of some blushes if I can, because I have a lot more than I want. One of them was this Cargo Blu-ray high definition blush / highlighter, which is more of a blush to me than a highlighter, but this is really old, and it's kind of like a chopping block item that I wanted to use 5 times to see like how I felt about it. And I did use it 5 times, so that very short goal was met, but I decided after all, I'm going to be decluttering this blush because of the age. which, you know, that doesn't always stop me with a lot of my makeup. Like, I don't automatically get rid of things just because they're old. But I feel like I can move past this blush now. It's very, like I said, old. I have a pan in there. I've been using it pretty regularly, like in rotations and stuff like that. And at one point, this was one of my favorite blushes in my collection, but things change. You know, I don't know if the formula changed or just like, I don't know, my ideas on what like makes a blush amazing. It has changed, and like it is still a really nice blush. I could probably finish this and keep it if I felt like it. I don't know. I just think, again, it's time to move on because I have other blushes that I'm more excited to use. I don't feel like rehoming this because it's broken. That's the other thing. It's like a broken blush, and I think it's time to move on. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, well, I could keep using this. And do I really want to get rid of it? But I think I'm going to get rid of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I get real weird about blush when I'm looking at it now because I'm like, it was such a favorite. I probably should try to pan it. I think I'm getting rid of it. But yeah, that goal was met. Part of me wants to keep playing with it. Oh my God, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. But I think we just have to pull the plug. And this one I'm definitely decluttering. This also had a goal of 5 times, which I did do. This is just your classic NARS orgasm that I've had for years and years. Not quite as long as this, but still really long time. And it's just expired, and some blushes don't have a smell to it, even if they're old. This one has like that old powder talc smell. I'm just switching my angle up here a little bit. Yeah, I thought this was a nice blush, but I didn't think it was as great as people were making it out to be at one point. I think people got over that. I think collectively, people thought it was great, and then collectively people were like, it's not that great. I never thought it was that great, to be honest with you, because my skin tone and this, like, it just looks average. Like, it's nice, but it's nothing that no other blush can achieve. It's fine. But we're getting rid of it because, again, old doesn't do that much. There's so much product in it left, and I'm never going to pan this thing, and I don't have any desire to. I have other blushes I like more. So both are leaving my collection, so that was good because I wanted to kind of make those choices in this project. We have MAC Pearl, which is a cream base, which I use as a highlighter. And my goal with this was to finish it, and I did not finish it. So I used this 15 times, and the pan has expanded a little bit. I don't know if I have a comparison pic, but if I do, you'll see it. This pan was there for a while. That was like from probably another project or just using it over time. I decided after 15 uses that I don't want to finish it or have it in a project to finish up because I don't use highlighter at all. And this was just kind of more of a pain to like try to use just to use it. I don't wear highlighter. I have not used any highlighter since I rolled this out when did I roll this out? In October. Not one type of highlighter has been in my everyday makeup basket. I didn't feel like I needed it. So I'm not going to try to finish this. Do I want to declutter it? I don't know about declutter. I mean, I think it's definitely old, and would it be the worst idea to probably get rid of it? But haven't quite made up my mind. So anyway, did not meet my goal here, but did use it enough times to get use out of it, but definitely not something I'm going to try to finish this year or next year. I just don't use highlighter that much, or even as an eyeshadow. I'm like, I'm not going to use this over like another eyeshadow that I have. So I don't know. But yeah, I did get to use it, but that was it. I'm not doing anything further with this in terms of like big panning goals or anything. So that is rolled out. Yeah, so those are the products that I mentioned in the last update back in September. I also want to talk about how 2025 was overall for me, like in terms of my project. Now, I started the year knowing that this was not going to be some crazy panning year. I'm just like not at that place anymore with my collection or makeup in general. Most of the time I just like to be like very attentive to my collection and make sure I'm rotating things. And just to give you a little roundup, I completed in this year's project the blush and bronzer that I just talked about. So these are totally finished. I finished a perfume. This is the Juicy Couture perfume, which I thought I saved the bottle, and I think I ended up tossing it. So I'm sad that I threw it away because I wanted to show it to you guys. But yeah, there wasn't a lot left in that, but I ended up finishing it all totally. I finished this rehomed Makeup Academy 205 lipstick, which was exciting. Yeah, that was really, really old. And Makeup Academy is like a CVS brand that no longer exists, and it hasn't existed for a while. So it was like a nice nude color, but really thrilled to get one lipstick out through this project. And I finished up a face mask a jar of the Innisfree, which I also threw out. Man, I threw out 2 of those empties, which I was planning to keep to like show you guys for this, but I threw it out. So I finished 5 products. This year I hit pan on Stunner, this highlighter by Tarte, which was cool. And I also hit pan on that party eyeshadow that was in here. That's the one I just talked to you about. So 2 products I hit pan. I had usage goals, which was just like, use this 5 times, 10 times, whatever, on 4 products, which, not too bad. One was like an eyeshadow, and then the blushes, 2 blushes I talked about, and a body highlighter. And through that, I learned that I didn't want to hold on to these 2 blushes anymore. So these 2 are exiting my collection. And then there was, of course, this, which I kind of gave up on the goal and decided to roll out, and that was it. So overall, I think this year, to me, finishing like a blush and a bronzer was pretty big for me, because I don't think I've ever finished a blush in my entire life. I finished up a contour stick before, but never like a bronzer in this format. So to me, that's pretty successful. I know it wasn't like this huge project with like tons of things going at once. I had 11 products total that I had some sort of goal for in 2025. So again, very small chill. And that's okay with me, because that's just like where I'm at now with my collection. I haven't like solidified anything for a project for next year. I'm thinking about potentially finishing a cream blush. I have like a Glossier one, 2 Glossier ones that are getting old, but I don't think I'm going to try to pan both of them next year. So that's in the running. I'm going to tread very carefully though, because spending that much time with one blush can be, a little exhausting. So I might like have it in some months, have it out, weave it in and out throughout the year so I don't get like burnt out on it. I didn't find myself like I was burnt out on any of my products this year, but I just want to make sure I'm enjoying my products and rotating and things like that. So definitely one of my Glossier cream blushes, potentially a lipstick. It'd be nice to pan something that is like older and closer to being panned anyway. So like that could happen. Definitely not panning any highlighters. I don't foresee myself finishing an eyeshadow, but we'll see. So I have some time to think about it. I'm thinking it's going to be another low-key panning year next year, but any success is great. And I'm not here to finish full palettes. We'll see. But anyway, that is the update / finale of my 2025 Project Pan. Very short and sweet. And I'm excited to see what I end up doing for next year. And hopefully I can update a little bit more. I don't know. This year was a little bit rough with like work and how it goes. I hope you had a really happy holiday. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.